failures in my life, and there's a lot of that. And so what I write is all, or I hope it's all, positive. It's meant to be anyway.
It's great to have it there because music just, it connects to somewhere in you that I don't think anything else really connects to. And not necessarily the same thing for each person, so you can listen to the same tune and everyone have a different idea, but I find it's really, really useful.
You know, it's funny when people just want to talk about themselves and you're like, actually I don't mind, and you talk and talk and talk. It's great. My brother has a t-shirt which says, "Careful, you'll end up in my next novel." And it's such good advice to people, you know, if they're not careful, they may well end up there.
When the kids were little, I used to write them stories and poems, and sometimes stories in rhyme, and sometimes, you know, all sorts of different things I experimented with, and they always loved them. I think it's because they loved me, but they always said they loved them. And of course, this is one of them, Rosie Jane and the Swadgerum, and this is the first of the Rosie Jane poems that I wrote for the kids when we lived in Auckland. And they're all grown up now, and they all still wanted to share Rosie Jane, didn't you? You all wanted to share the poems with other children. And so we made an effort, and Ginny did the beautiful illustrations. I'm really pleased with the illustrations. And we got our heads together, didn't we, and produced this, and it was launched on Friday at Crossroads School.
One thing that I'm very, very proud of is this. This is a Russian icon, which has a very interesting backstory, because I can tell you exactly where it came from. It was taken from Father Sobolski's house in Sevastopol on the day that the British ended the siege of Sevastopol in the Crimean War. So this is loot. This was some guy called Captain Shaw, who was a member of the Light Brigade, was there at the charge of the Light Brigade, went in and nabbed this from some priest's house in Sevastopol. And it's just, to have it is really amazing. It's like, it's such a connection straight back to that time. And there is a Crimean War book on its way. So that was why I started looking into Crimean War things. So there's a letter on there from a soldier who didn't make it to the Crimean War because he broke his leg, and he's in hospital. And there's also a cross, which is a Russian cross from that period as well. So that is a real inspiration to me, to be able to have these things and actually, you know, hold on to them, because it's great going to the museum, and it, you know, it's really good, but to actually know that someone all those years ago had their hand on this or penned a letter or something, and to know that you're now part of this continuing story that it belongs to is really something special. So yeah, artefacts are also definitely a big source of inspiration for me.
Pen's gone to stay with his family in England, and his uncle, who he lives with most of the time, is in Scotland around Aviemore. So this Pen is like me in many ways, and this is one of those ways, and he is nosy. So I put that observation that I have when I'm on a journey into him. Basically, I'm just going to read this little bit. He's travelling from Waverley to Aviemore. As the train pulled away from the station, Pen remembered the strange man who had told him about climbing to the top of Ben Nevis each year since he was 15. He wondered if he would have the opportunity during the next 9 months to create any traditions of his own. No one on the train spoke to him this time, and most of them seemed to be hungover or returning home after their first day back at work. It soon became dark, but Penn sat staring at the windows, watching the reflections of his fellow passengers, who remained oblivious to the fact that they were the source of so much interest for the 15-year-old boy. He fell asleep after Pitlochry, and the conductor had to shake his shoulder gently to tell him that they had arrived in Abbey Moor. He thanked her and picked up his rucksack. As he stepped off the train and the cold air hit his face, his eyes watered, and he began to think of the warm bed at Honour's Rest, and imagined curling under the blankets and sleeping until the darkness and cold passed into night. So that whole, it being dark on a train and you're still looking out the window, and the number of people who don't realise that when you do that, it's only because you're watching them. It never ceases to amaze me. And I remember once having a journey on the train as well, because I'm so nosy, honestly. It was February, and I was going down to Glasgow, and it got dark, as it does in February in Scotland, and I did this. And it was dark on the train, and I was sitting there like this, so no one could see who I was looking at or anything. And they honestly, it's the most brilliant way of people watching, and people don't ask. They don't ask. So, so if you ever see me on a train in the dark doing this and looking out the window, you know I'll be watching you. But I mean, so all of these things, you just kind of had a quick whiz through my brain there. All of these things are the way I find inspiration to write. And sometimes it works the other way. And once, one of my favourite texts I've ever had was from Clem. And me and Ginny were driving up from England, and Mum, Dad and Clem had taken the train. And I got a text from Clem saying, I just saw Napier at Aviemore Station. And it was like, she can possibly have just seen Napier at Aviemore Station, because Napier only exists in my head and in my book. But the fact that she had made that connection, it was just absolutely outstanding for me. You know, it was like, I'd created something that was so real that Clem could actually see, you know, she saw another person who was maybe called Joe Bloggs, and to her that was Napier, because I'd created someone who was believable. So I mean, it's just about finding the inspiration and allowing that and remembering it. That's what I would say.